Alright, so I want to share with you now an exercise that was really fundamental for me and continues to be, and it's one of my staples that I always go back to. And along with the bowing exercise, this one's called the Abdominal Exercise, and it's again fundamental to restore energy down into the lower abdomen. And I used to utilize this. I remember working in a coffee shop when I was 20 years old and having extreme anxiety, and I would do this about 100 times and it would just calm the anxiety down extremely. So if you can't do anything else, you can do this anywhere, anytime. And what's important is that you do at least 100 repetitions, but if you do 300 or 500, you're going to find a tremendous difference. So again, try to reach for 300 to 500. It'll take you 5 or 10 minutes maybe to do that, but what it is essentially is an abdominal massage, and so it takes time to really work out the tension in your muscles and in your internal organs, and it's going to restore a lot of good blood flow and oxygen flow to those areas, and eventually it'll sensitize that area to feeling the qi in your lower dantian as well. So most of the time I like to have my feet apart while I practice this. Feet apart, toes pointed out a bit. And there's two main positions you can do. A lot of people like to use this one where your belly button's here, you make a triangle around it. So we'll practice this one for a few. So your knees bent, but you try to keep your lower back relaxed, and you can always do that with your buoyancy practice there, just shaking a little bit. And you can always rock back and forth on your heels and toes. But the exercise is simple. You're just pulling the belly in and then pushing out. Okay? So again, kind of like you're squeezing your belly button back towards your spine. And it's really important that you keep your shoulders loose as much as possible while you're doing this. And you're basically trying to make a furnace in your belly, bringing the fire energy down. Okay, and the one thing people commonly do with this one when we start practicing is they start breathing along with it. So they're like this. But you'll pass out pretty quickly if you try to breathe with every repetition. You want to think this one is more like just a physical exercise, like a sit-up or something like that, as opposed to a deep meditative or energy practice. You're just trying to really get the blood flow, get the heat sinking down into the belly, and so you can breathe independently of it. So I like to do maybe 20 or 30 at a time, and then just pause and straighten the knees and take a deep breath, or 2 or 3 deep breaths. And this exercise in and of itself is a great one too. You try to draw that breath to the belly. You relax your lower back and your abdomen. And one more time. And breathe out. And then we'll crank out some more. So with this one, I like to do an alternate hand posture. I like to just put one hand over the other. And for my body, for whatever way it's built, that helps my shoulders stay relaxed. So again, either this way or one hand over the other. Pulling the belly in and pushing out. Knees bent. And there's really subtle things that you can do with this, just as far as putting your weight towards the front of your feet. That's very grounding, just to even focus on your feet. Helps you to relax your lower back and your shoulders. Or if you kind of lean back and you set that weight on your heels, there's just little subtle things you'll notice going on when you switch the weight from front to back, or more evenly. Okay, so about maybe 90 to 100, maybe 150 into this, you might start to feel tension or pain in certain areas. And it seems to be pretty well accepted that we should have pain in our abdomen. Like, we don't want to press in on those areas, they're sensitive, but I found that initially, just from stress, you will have pain and you'll feel tension in those areas, but it's all liable to disappear if you do this one really regularly. And I found that because from time to time, or I'll regularly have pain, but as I practice this, 300 repetitions or so in, it just all starts to soften and release. And then the healthier, pure, fresh energy is restored there. So we'll take another breath. Try to feel the belly expand. Okay, so remember this one, it's just pulling and pushing, pulling and pushing. And you start to hear your belly rumble, and you might burp too, which is good QiGong. Get out the stagnant energy. Okay, one more breath, we'll finish. Inhale and exhale. So 300 to 500 times. You'll be amazed. Practice that one. Abdominal exercise.